Okay, what's up guys? This is gonna be my first video on this channel, Buns Gaming. But today I'll be playing Run on the Moon, and I'll kind of explain how to make good cars. So let's remove this. And let's say you just started, for example, and you have one Parvis motor. Making it all-wheel drive is definitely good, but when you do this, you no longer have room for any batteries. You have to end up placing your batteries across the car, which don't really leave you with much storage at all. So instead, actually make it rear wheel drive for now, as you only have one motor. Rear wheel drive is great because it's better for terrain than front wheel drive. But you also get space. Now we have our batteries in the bottom. We can put our seat on the front, and we have storage space. If I pick up a package here, we can place 4 packages on top. But if we want to stack packages higher, that causes our center of mass to move up, which is not good, because that causes you to wheelie like that, and when you turn, you can flip, which is not good, because it can ruin fragile missions, and it can cause you to actually lose missions on time. Instead, what you want to do is put half blocks out and put wedges on them. This will give you like mini wings, which now, since you have them, you can, dang it, I forgot I have to launch. You can place more packages on them, keeping your center mass low while still holding the same amount of packages. Now if I turn, I will not flip. So I definitely recommend adding wings. Oh, well, you won't really have this many packages early game. Let's talk about kind of like, what's a good second car once you have 2 motors. So let's still build off of this similar design. You can have 1 motor in the back and 1 motor in the front. This gives you space for a heat exchanger and all of your batteries. What you can also do is do the same wings, but we can actually place a radiator panel below the wings. Also, if you still don't have enough space, I recommend putting radiator panels in the back, not the front, because they could cause collisions with rocks. But it's fine if you put them on the front. This is more than enough radiator panels. You only really need 2. Then we can place the seat in front. And we can place all our packages. Oh my god. There we go. I know this car's like, has very quick acceleration, but you have like, not that much speed. Oh, almost flipped there. what we can do is we can actually get something called gearboxes. I recommend using reindeers and not for speed instead of using cheetahs. Cheetahs just reduce so much torque that they're not worth it. The torque gearboxes are pretty good, but in this situation I don't want them because I already have plenty of torque. So in this situation, if you have one gearbox, leave the seat in the front, but if you have two gearboxes, then what I actually recommend doing is, instead of taking cargo space away, I'm actually washed at this game. I forgot you can't do that. Put your seat in the middle because it makes the car symmetrical and makes the weight right in the middle. And now, our torque isn't too bad, and we still have a decent amount of acceleration. But now we can go a lot faster. Oh, I'm drifting. Okay, let's head back. Okay, but let's say you got your first Parvis Mark II motor. Let's strip down this vehicle so I can show you what I would do. First thing, now since you're getting a lot more packages, I would actually make the vehicle wider. And what I would do is I would put these two motors like this. Yes, combining motors does reduce torque, but you'll see why. And then with our other Parvis motor, we can put that in the front like this. Now what you want to do is you want to take an aux gearbox and place it on the Parvis Mark II. This is called motor filtering. You're getting the torque from the Parvis Mark II, but you're getting the speed from this motor. So you're getting double the torque, but the same speed. So it's basically like having two Parvis Mark IIs, except you're just using a gearbox and a Parvis Mark I. Now we will need two heat exchangers. Oops. And we can place our batteries. There we go. And now I actually recommend placing radiator panels on the side, the back, or the front, but if you don't have to place them on the front, I wouldn't. Place our driver's seat right there. Now this is a really good car. But first, let's check how many radiator panels would we actually need. Okay. So, this one, and this one. This one has 4 times the power consumption, which means it'll pull 4 times the heat. So it pulls 1 heat. So, combined, this gives off 0.5 heat. So, 6 total heat. So we need 12 panels. And we have 2 heat exchangers because each heat exchanger can hold 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and we need 1 more. In this situation, I actually recommend putting it on top of the gearbox because it doesn't get rid of any cargo space and you don't have a weird bump in the front. And if you have extra space in the front, what I actually recommend doing, putting half slopes here and then doing something like that. That will make it so if you run into rocks, your car just won't go flying in the air and flip over. You don't really need lights. I don't recommend buying them until you're late game or you actually want your car to look nice, because they don't really matter. Same with taillights. You don't really need them. And this car, we actually only have one spot where you can place them. But for now, I guess I will put some lights. Okay. Let's grab this contract and put on our packages. One thing to know is if you do put a brake light, you can actually not place a package here. So I would not recommend doing that. And it's a little uneven, but that'll be fine. Our center mass is pretty much in the middle. But this car has plenty of torque, and it's still pretty fast because of our motor filtering. This car can definitely get to locations very far away, like KRL. Just make sure that your power is good enough. I recommend that at one point, if you have enough batteries, instead of doing half slab, I'm about to crash. Instead of doing half slabs on the top and batteries on the bottom, you can do batteries on the top and the bottom. That will slightly bring up the center of gravity, so just know that. Let's talk about a practical vehicle. Let's look at this trailer. You're probably wondering, well, I see that you have the trail hook, but why do you have these big things? What are these for? Well, they're actually for gripping the trailer, so if you turn, the trailer won't flip over. We also have the motors that are hooked up to 2 wheels on both sides for better turning radius, which really helps with these trailers. This also has double motor filtering, so you can see right there on both sides, in the front and the back. And then we have 2 Parvis Mark 1s in the back. But I'll show you what this actually does with the trailer. So let's grab a contract. Here we go. Okay, let's go pick it up. Okay, when you're coming up to the trailer, try to come out in front, kind of like you're parking almost, and line it up so you're right in the middle. Just come back slowly. If you don't line up right away, just move until you get it. And see, this actually like grabs the trailer. So even if I do like a tight turn here, the trailer cannot flip over, which is great because that's the most prone thing to happen when you're doing trailers. And these missions normally take a very long time, so it's very annoying to see that you've just lost your entire mission. Also, when you're pulling a trailer, know that you'll need a lot of torque because the trailer really slows down your build. Look at the weight of the car. 1,600 pounds, and the trailer is 2,100 pounds. It can almost half the speed of your build, so you need a lot of torque if you want to be able to move them. See, we're going about only 37, which, yeah, it seems fast, but not that fast for having this many motors. Double motor filter, and 2 more Mark 1s. So, just know you'll need a lot of torque, or else that speed will stay really far down. And it'll take... Oh, I just hit something. Now, let's make a speedster build. Similar to the one that I have right here. But this one is, yes, it's practical, but it's mainly for looks. It's not fully practical. So let's build one. So for this, I definitely want to do double motor filtering and leave that to the back. because you always want the back to be more powerful, because the front wheels tend to skip off the ground when you're going very fast. Keep these separate. Even though it looks like you should combine them, it'll actually lower the overall torque, so don't combine them. At this point, you can be using the bigger wheels, UKF, which you get from doing the Razor path. These are definitely the best wheels, so I definitely recommend trying to push this path first to get the UKF 30s. Then you can work on other stuff. Now, I actually have full battery packs, but I'm not going to use those here. I'm going to use the heat exchangers. We want this car to be pretty long, and in the front, use these. These we can put Rangers on, because we want these to go really fast. These are already fast, because I get double the torque, and they get the speed. Now what we can do is we can bridge this across like this. So we can put our batteries all on the bottom. But I still have 6 batteries. So we're actually going to put them through the middle here. See, I wasn't able to fit all my batteries, so what I'm going to do is place these here, and I have 3 batteries left. So I'll cut off 2 sections from each side, 1 on the front, so it's symmetrical, and put batteries on top. We need our seat, which I'll place right here. And then we need our wheels at the front. For this one, I definitely want this, because I do not want to hit a rock and immediately lose all speed. I'm actually going to do that on both sides, because it can extend our cargo space. And it actually gives a nice spot to put some lights. Now we're going to need a lot of radiator panels for this one. So I'll place panels across the side, on top of these. And since I actually don't have enough space, I want to take up this back cargo area and use it. Now I have all my radiator panels. Let's grab mission. And we can put the rest of the storage here in front. Another thing you could do is you could actually put your radiator panels under the car. But honestly, I don't really like doing that, because if you hit even the smallest rock, you can bump up like crazy. And it gives you no ground clearance, so going over mountains can be very difficult. So I actually recommend putting them on the side, which is why you'll see a lot of late game cars, because they need lots of radiator panels, actually have walls around the side that people put radiator panels on. For this one, it doesn't make sense though, because if I put walls on, you'd only have 1 strip of cargo space. Anyways, let's see how fast this thing can go. So the torque is actually very good. But let's see our top speed. You can actually get speedster builds like this to go up to like almost 80. And if you actually have the medius motors, which are the last motors, I don't have any of those yet, you can go even faster. Also, note that sometimes for these speedster builds, motor filtering isn't always the best strategy. Instead, sometimes it's better to actually put the speedy gearboxes on the Parvis Mark IIs. And it's actually worth it in this situation to use cheetahs. So, as we're seeing, we're almost at about 60. Yeah. So this car can go about 63 at tops, and we're actually still climbing. We're at 66. We're actually going to go over this hill here, so that might slow us down a bit. Please don't hit a rock. Please don't hit a rock. We're flying. So these speedster builds can actually go super fast. And this is definitely the most efficient way for delivering packages, because you can make a lot of money really quick. So I recommend focusing on these. Also, don't forget that torque is still important. You don't want to be waiting to accelerate, because that can cause even little trips to like Happy Space Farm to take a lot longer than they need to. So I feel like this is the perfect balance between torque and speed. So I recommend building something like this. Anyways, thanks for watching the video, and please subscribe to the channel and like the video if you want to see more videos like this. Oops.